Yo, what is good? What is good? What is good? How's everybody been, man? I had to do this, man. I had to do a live right now. Cause why not? Cause why not? I got the day off, man. And there's a position group that I really want to talk about, man. There is a position group on this team that I need to talk about. We need to talk about it, man. And you see that's why you guys see the title of the live is Trench Talk, man. Because in this defense, I'm gonna be talking about the defense today, man. Um, I'm gonna wait for a little bit more people to get in here, but man, I'm very happy with how our defense and specifically a certain position group has played in the first couple weeks of our season. You know, we are 3-0. Um, Going into a big week. Um, this game this Monday night. So I'm gonna wait for a little bit more people to come in, but hey, I have to talk about this position group, no doubt. And really quick, was good. Blazing was good. Benjamin, Raider, Joe, Emmanuel, Ryan. What's up with all you guys? Um, I hope everybody's been doing good. I hope everybody's what's this? Wednesday is good. Everybody's healthy. You know, everybody's if you're at school, then do your schoolwork if you're at work or whatever the case may be, man. Whatever the case may be. But shout out to everybody in the chat right now. Raider Ralph, what's up with you? Aussie Raider. He says, what's up, Andy? How are you? I'm good. I'm great. But listen, all right, we got a couple people in here. Was good, Junior. We got a couple people in here. I want to kick it off, man. I want to kick this off. I want to start it off, man. You can see the title of the live is Trench Talk. That's what we're going to do, but I'm going to talk about the defensive line today. And I'm going to go over every single one of these defensive linemen, and I'm going to save the best one for last. And you guys may know who's the best one, okay? Just put two and two together, man. You guys can guess who I'm putting last, okay? Just so we can all talk about it, man. But let's start off. The first person I want to talk about, man, is this man right here, Jonathan Hankins. Jonathan freaking Hankins. Because, man, I am very pleased with the way that Jonathan Hankins has played. He's not a sack guy. He's not going to get you 5 sacks, 6 sacks. He may get you 1 or 2 on the season. But this man right here has played his role perfectly, like absolutely perfectly, man. It's amazing how good of a run stopper he is, and that's very much so needed. So Jonathan Hankins, man, I believe PFF had him graded at like 64 overall grade. I don't know what his run stopping grade was, but I know his run stopping grade is his best grade. But he has an overall grade of 64, right? That's pretty good for PFF. You know, they're really harsh or just really weird about their grading system, but Jonathan Hankins, man, number 90 has been solid. Hasn't been too disruptive in the past game, but that's not what we signed him for. We signed him to be a run stopper. We signed him to be, a guy that's not going to allow any penetration up the middle. And he's been doing good. He's been doing very good. I'm very pleased with how Jonathan Hankins has played. He's a guy that, like I said, he's playing his role, man. He's just playing his role. He's every now and again you'll see him in the backfield kind of trying to chase down the quarterback. He won't get there. He's a slow guy. But let's get into this guy right here. Number 99, Cleveland Ferrell, did not play in our season opener. We were all kind of like, well, what's up with Cleveland Ferrell? I had him starting opposite side of Yannick Ngakoue, right? That I had Cleveland Ferrell as a starter. Nonetheless, he's sitting behind Carl Nassib right now, right? It's tough. It's tough for Cleveland Ferrell, man. But what I will say is that Cleveland Ferrell's a guy that he needs in-game reps to get better. So with him, he didn't play much against the Steelers. He only played in the red zone against the Steelers. And he didn't do much. He really didn't do much. But this last week, this game that we just played against the Miami Dolphins, he got a lot of reps. And with those reps, he had a couple of good plays. I saw him and Darius Philon a couple times really, 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 really plugging up their side of the defensive line, and that's exciting, man. That's very, very exciting to see Cleveland Ferrell and Darius Philon really just being solid and stout against the run. Of course, we know Cleveland Ferrell, that's his bread and butter. Stopping the run, that's his bread and butter. He's been good at that since week one of his career. Obviously, we brought him in to be more than a run stopper. We drafted him at 4th overall. But with this last game, it's kind of weird because 4th overall pick is now like literally bottom of our defensive end depth chart. Carl Nassib has clearly been outplaying him, but I'm happy to see that he is getting more and more reps. He looked good in this last game. I didn't see him, getting outplayed by a tight end or getting blocked by a tight end. It was kind of weird to see though that the Miami Dolphins did respect Cleveland Ferrell a lot though. The Miami Dolphins, for the first 3 plays that Cleveland Ferrell took against the Miami Dolphins, they had him double teamed, and it was double teamed with a guard and a tackle. So that's really, really tough for you to come in first 3 plays against a team and they double team you. So that's what was interesting. But Cleveland Ferrell also had he played cleanup on Carl Nassib's sack. They did credit Solomon Thomas with half of Carl Nassib's sack. Cleveland Ferrell was in on that. He also, made it through a double team and caused Jacoby Brissett to have a throw on the run that I think ended up being completed to Trayvon Mullen's guy. But it is what it is, man. I thought that he played well. If his role is end up just going to be depth, it kind of sucks. But it looks like that's where it's heading. And honestly, him as depth hasn't looked bad at all. It has not looked bad at all. So it's kind of disappointing because of where we got him, but at the end of the day, it's okay. Now, I think we can all say that this man right here has been a pleasant surprise. Because this is a guy who was out of the NFL for 2 years after having, I believe, a string of 3 solid seasons with Gus Bradley. He had 3 solid seasons with Gus Bradley, ended up getting a contract with the Arizona Cardinals for about $10 million for 2 years. And he got into some trouble, got kicked out of the NFL, didn't play for 2 years, and found a way on this team, made it through training camp, ended up being on the 53-man roster. And I think we can all say that Darius Philon has probably been the most pleasant surprise on the defensive line, apart from another guy that I will talk about later. Darius Philon, man, after not being in the NFL for 2 years, he hadn't lost a step, in my opinion, right? I mean, this dude, I didn't think he was a nose tackle. I did not think he was a nose tackle with his size. He reported in, I believe, at 292 to training camp, and that's not a nose tackle size. But you put him at the one technique at a nose tackle position. This dude is creating pressure everywhere on the defensive line, man. It's really, really interesting, man. And I'm very, very happy that Darius Philon not only made his way back into the NFL, not only fought for a spot on a 53-man roster, but has been probably one of our brightest spots when it comes to defensive line play on our team, right? I mean, if we could rate Darius Philon, I mean, chat, what would you guys rate Darius Philon and his play so far this season? I think I would give him a solid 7.5 to 8, right? I mean, I see you guys are all been, I think his play has been very, 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 very good, right? I mean, Darius Philon, you love to see this kind of stuff, man. You love to see this kind of stuff. I'd give him a solid 7.5 to 8 rating. He's a good player, man. Sean, I haven't been on for too long. It's about 10 minutes. I'm gonna be on for a little bit though. A solid 8. Yeah, I mean, Philon's been doing good for sure. Philon's been doing well. Yeah, I mean, bro, he's when we're talking about preseason, he looked like a man amongst boys out there in preseason. but man, I'm happy that I believe Gus Bradley said in the press conference that the Philon pickup wasn't Gus Bradley. The Philon pickup was from Gruden watching old film on Gus Bradley's defense and seeing Darius Philon on the team, and he was just wondering like, hey, where's this guy? Where's this guy? And when talking about this guy, he was speaking about Philon. And so we ended up giving Philon a shot, and man, I'm glad we did, man. I'm glad we did. Um, but most definitely, Darius Philon, one of our best interior rushers at the moment. But this man right here, this man right here, has also been very, 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 very stout for our defensive line, and I'm very, very happy about it. Quinton Jefferson, played with the Gus Bradley defense in Seattle. I believe he only had Gus Bradley for 1 year. He only played with Gus Bradley for 1 year before Gus Bradley left and became a head coach for the Jaguars. So he played with Gus Bradley for 1 year. Had a decent year. He was a rotational piece at the time. He played with KJ Wright. He played with KJ Wright. So Quinton Jefferson leaves the Seattle Seahawks, goes with the Buffalo Bills. They play him out of position for an entire season. They play him at a one technique role. That's not his role. He's a three technique defensive tackle. I think they were just trying to, allow Ed Oliver to stay at three technique. So that's why the Buffalo Bills played Quinton Jefferson out of position. But Quinton Jefferson, we signed him. I'm very, very happy we did. He's making big time plays. He's one of the big reasons why we beat Baltimore. Gets a strip tackle on Lamar Jackson, punches the ball out. We recover it. The recovery was by Darius Philon. You love to see that kind of stuff, man. You love to see that kind of stuff when your players aren't getting sacks or tackles for loss. When they can still make plays like that, when they can play fast, punch the ball out, and do that, that's very, 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 very good. Quinton Jefferson, I believe, has a sack on the season and a forced fumble. Very, very, very productive player. And I love it because when you have the rotation of Darius Philon and Quinton Jefferson going in and out at three technique, it must be hard for an offensive lineman to keep up with that much power because, offensive linemen don't get taken out and rotated in as much as, if at all, like defensive linemen do. Defensive linemen go in and out after one play. Offensive linemen have to play the whole drive, the whole game. So when you got Quinton attacking you, and then you got Philon attacking you, it must suck. But I'm very, very happy that Quinton Jefferson's a guy for us. Another guy, with a sack and a forced fumble on the season in only 3 games. That's a solid stat line right there. On top of that, you look at the sack and you look at the forced fumble that he got. Yo, we needed it bad. But yes, Quinton Jefferson, very, 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 very good player. Glad we picked him up from the Buffalo Bills. The next guy I want to talk about is Carl Nassib. Carl Nassib, right? Going into the season after Carl Nassib didn't have, the best year with us last year. He did have a pick. I believe he had 2 sacks or something like that. Not the most productive season after you pay a guy $9.5 million, right? That's what we had Nassib under contract, right? We had Nassib under contract for $9.5 million, and we were like, okay, well, what's up with that? Nassib's getting paid almost $10 million, only 2 sacks. We need more production, right? But then with the change of coaches, maybe Nassib now feels more comfortable in his defense, and he's been big time for us. He's been big time. I believe at the moment he's sitting at 2 sacks, if not more. I think he's sitting at 1 or 2 sacks. Let me confirm that. Carl Nassib is at 1.5 sacks on the year and a forced fumble, another forced fumble on Lamar Jackson. This one being the one that wins us the game because it puts us automatically in field goal range. Very, 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 very good. Carl Nassib, I mean, man, like when we talk about the rotation of this defensive line, it's near to perfect, right? Like we have Cleveland Ferrell, a guy who had to start last year. He's a rotational guy. Carl Nassib at times had to start last year. He's a rotational guy. You know, if we had Quinton Jefferson or Philon last year, they would have had to start. But guess what? He's a rotational guy. So I'm very, very, very happy with how Rod Marinelli and Gus Bradley have really brought this defensive line group to really become just extremely, extremely successful, man. Extremely successful. So it's interesting to see how much better our guys have gotten in just a matter of an offseason. Of course, we all know how bad Paul Gunther's scheme is. It's pretty horrible. But Carl Nassib, pleasant surprise. After you pay a man $9.5 million and only gets 2 sacks, this year he's already at 1.5 and a forced fumble. A couple tackles for loss, right? So that's very, very good for Carl Nassib. I'm happy about that. The next man I want to talk about is Yannick Ngakoue, right? This guy right here, probably, although he did not have a sack, probably last game was his best game as a Raider. This man was flying off the ball. And I know every single one of you guys saw this man, Yannick Ngakoue's get off. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Um, it's amazing to me how quick Yannick Ngakoue's get off is. There was a couple of people that were comparing his get off to how well Von Miller's get off is, you know, and Von Miller just shoots like he's out of a cannon each time that ball is snapped. So I'm very, very, very happy. Of course, we need Yannick Ngakoue to get us a sack, right? But this last week, this last game, Yannick Ngakoue and Mad Max got held at least a total of a minimum of 15 times. Like it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous how much those two guys just alone got held. And I counted a couple holds on our defensive tackles as well. You know, it's amazing. It's amazing. I'm glad. Yeah, it was intense, definitely. But yes, Yannick Ngakoue, I mean, he did play a little bit banged up against the Steelers. He played with his hammy wrapped. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Let's see. Let's see right here. Next player. Next player. The one, the only, Mad Maxx Crosby, man. Mad Maxx Crosby. The GOAT. The GOAT. I didn't have this man starting. I had Cleveland Ferrell starting over this man because I didn't think that Mad Max was going to stop the run the way he's been stopping the run. But man, Mad Max, Mad Max is freaking. He's just disruptive, man. He's just disruptive. I believe he has 2 sacks on the season. I'm not sure if he leads our team in tackles for loss. I'll check that right now. I think it's one of our our linebackers. They're Maxx Crosby does lead our team in tackles for loss. He's already at 3 tackles for loss in 3 games with 2 sacks. He leads in quarterback hits in the NFL. He leads in quarterback pressures in the NFL. This guy right here is productive, man. Very, 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 very productive. I'm very happy that this guy's just coming to his own. Just coming to his own this year, man. This dude, he's just ridiculous. He stands at like 6'5", and he just he just has speed and bend of somebody that's about 6'3". About 6'3". Like this man, Mad Max, is ridiculous. And yes, Aussie Raider, the lack of holding calls this year has been really bad. I mean, you look at everything right now. it's been blatant. It's been very, very blatant um, up to now. I mean, holdings out of the ass by freaking every single freaking game, every single offensive tackle is held both of our defensive ends. But I had to save the best for last, man, because I know every single one of you guys are thinking right now, what? Damn, how are you going to talk about our defensive line and not talk about the guy that you critique the most? I wanted to save him for last, man. I wanted to save this man right here for last. Now, where do I start with this man? Because week one, he looked like, oh, where's Solomon Thomas, man? Where's Solomon Thomas? Week one, we're like, damn, you don't have Cleveland Ferrell. We need somebody to step up, right? And Solomon Thomas, he didn't step up. But then you look at week two. This man had a career game, 2 sacks, the only 2 sacks our team had. And we needed that. We needed that bad. We needed that bad. And he came in clutch. That's a career game. That's a career game for Solomon Thomas. And I know, it's not saying much because he hasn't had too many sacks in his career, but I believe PFF credited Solomon Thomas for the sack that Carl Nassib got. I think ESPN has it at half a sack for both of them. I'd say it's half a sack, though. That one was for Carl Nassib. But, man, Solomon Thomas, I think right now, besides him, I think basically leading our team in sacks at 2.5 to 3, his run defense has improved massively, like massively. Solomon Thomas, when you watch his film with the 49ers, even at 3 technique, he didn't look good against the run. But right now with the Raiders, he's been looking very, 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 very solid against the run, man. And that's what excites me the most. Besides him being able to rush the passer, because with his size, with his build, he's going to get, penetration, right? But him against the run has been pretty disruptive, man. It's been pretty disruptive. I like what I've seen, without a doubt, these last 2 weeks, man. I mean, there was a place on Carl Nassib's sack against Miami. If you look at Solomon Thomas, he probably hit the best spin move I've ever seen by a Raiders defensive lineman, bro. It's ridiculous. I'm gonna try and find that play where Solomon Thomas hit the nastiest spin move on one of the Miami Dolphins offensive linemen, and he got back there with the pressure. He cleaned it up on Carl Nassib, and then you see Cleveland Ferrell really take him down and finish out the play. But Solomon Thomas, his biggest freaking attribute is his effort, man. He does not stop. He does not stop, and I can only imagine that Rod Marinelli loves that, because this man, Solomon Thomas, looked like, week one, it looked like, man, what are we going to get out of him? Week two, gets the only 2 sacks of the game. But if you look at week 2 and week 3, like the 2 games that he really brought it together, this dude looks like he's playing with like 5 chips on his shoulders, man. Like he is not stopping. He is not stopping, and his effort, his motor is out of this world right now. It's up there with Maxx Crosby. He doesn't stop. He doesn't stop. And with his size and his build, that's gonna help him, man. The sacks are gonna find him. Pause. The sacks are gonna find him. If you're that big and that strong and you just don't stop, that right there is going to find him. Not only that, it looks like he's finally developing certain pass rush moves. That's what I've only ever wanted, man. That's what I've only ever wanted for this man right there. Solomon Thomas looks like he's finally developing some pass rushing moves. I I I thought I'd never see the day where he would finally be able to do it. But if you watch his film, he's actually being able to string along a spin move, a chop, a swim, a club. He's doing multiple moves at that defensive tackle spot that he's never done in his career, right? And it's amazing to see him bring that out of his arsenal now, because We need that. We need that bad. Our defense runs on the front seven. So with Solomon Thomas being able to step his game up and finally put a string of pass rush moves together, this man right here has proved a lot of people wrong in the first 3 weeks. He's proved me wrong in the first 3 weeks. I believe he, leads the team in sacks. If you credit him with that sack, I thought that it was a half a sack, but whatever. I mean, that's great. You know, but like I was saying, man, with Solomon Thomas, it's finally looking like he's been able to string along a couple pass rush moves and put that into his arsenal in a game, right? I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing. Hate to say it, but Solomon Thomas is playing for his sister. Um, I mean, hey, if that's what's gonna motivate him, rest in peace to his sister. But hey, do what you need to do, man. Do what you need to do. That's very, 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 very you know, if that's what's motivating him, you know, let's keep it trending upwards, right? Because like I said, Solomon Thomas, I'm seeing him use moves right now that he's never done in his career. Like I've never seen him do a spin move in his entire career. Not even college. Not even in college. But I'm talking about Miami Dolphins game. You see you see his spin move that he hit on the offensive guard. It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. And matter of fact, I'm going to try and find it because it was disgusting. It was disgusting. Um, I've never seen Solomon Thomas do a move like that in my life. And like I said, he's proved a lot of people wrong. He's proved me wrong because in the first 3 games, this man is leading our team in sacks. On top of that, like I said, this dude's his motor is ridiculous right now. Like he just doesn't quit. He does not quit. It's amazing to see that kind of stuff because you know, I mean, you look at his game film right now, and it's just ridiculous. Like the week 3 and week 2 have probably been his best 2 weeks of his career, man. I've never in my life seen Solomon Thomas use so many pass rush moves in 2 games like he has these last two. It's amazing. It's amazing. And maybe Nick 209, you're probably right because Maxx Crosby does seem like he's, an infectious player. But man, I've never seen I've never seen Solomon Thomas be able to put this together. And I know change of sceneries help a lot of people. I just didn't see it with Solomon Thomas. But this dude right here is proving me the fuck wrong, and I'm excited for it, man. I'm excited for it. I don't care if this man has 55 sacks, man. That's what I wanted. I just expressed that I never saw it. I wouldn't see it happening. But hey, some of you guys did, some of you guys didn't. I didn't see it, but this man right here is proving so many people wrong, especially those Niner fans, man. The Niner fans after he left were fucking killing him, but man, he's just been proving a lot of people wrong, man, and it's amazing. Let me see something. Can tell he's been working hard. That's all paying off so far. Exactly, man. Exactly. I mean, I love to see that kind of stuff. Each time I spoke about Solomon Thomas, you guys can tell me if I'm lying. Each time I always said, I hope he proves me wrong. I hope he proves me wrong. Because if he proved me wrong, guess what? If he proves me wrong, that means that our team is doing better because of it. So I mean, if he's going to continue on this path, man, I'm very, very excited to where he can go because he is young. He is very young. And with his frame, with his size, it'll be tough to stop that man if he can continue at this level of play. Because you look at this man, he's built to compete with the best, Solomon Thomas, he's definitely proved me wrong up until now. I hope he keeps doing that because we need it, man. We need it. We need this man to continue trending upwards because at this pace, this man's on pace for a 17 sack season. I'm all for it. If he has a 17 sack season, I'm all for it, man. It's great. It's great. Let's see. My man Sanji also said he was a bust, and you know what? I'm not I'm not faulting anybody for saying that one man was gonna be trash or one because I called Solomon Thomas trash because what we saw on film proved to be bad. But what he's putting on film now, guess what? He's proven that he's a good player. 3 sacks in 3 games. If they're crediting him with that sack, um, that's big. Like that's really, really big. His best year in the NFL, he had 3 sacks. And that's in an entire season. He's already had 3 sacks in 3 games. That's no joke. That is no joke. For a defensive tackle, man. Defensive tackles get double teamed. Defensive tackles get chipped. They got to do the nasty work, man. So if he's going to continue trending at this pace, this man right here is not just going to be a great player for the Raiders, but he's going to be considered as one of the best defensive tackles in the league because I believe right now he's tied for first or tied in the top 5 for defensive tackle play right now in terms of pass rush, right? So if this man can continue to do what he's been doing, because these last 2 weeks, I've seen him time and time again create a string of pass rush moves that I've never seen him do. So if he can continue to do that, and I believe he will, if he can continue doing that, man, it'll be very, 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 very good for his career. And it'll be very good for us. It'll be very good for us. So I'm excited. I'm excited about what he can do. I really wanted to talk about all those guys, man. You know, uh, Specifically Solomon Thomas. I know I went through a list of all of our defensive linemen. You guys thought I wasn't going to talk about Solomon Thomas. I had to, man. I had to. When we brought him in, I was at first, when I didn't see the contract, I was like, okay, well, this could be a good pickup, depth. And then when I saw the contract, I didn't like it. I didn't like the pickup. But man, I'm not saying that right now he's worth the $5 million that he's gotten, but if he continues at the pace, if he continues at this pace, he'll be worth that $5 million. And I'll be happy to say that I was wrong, because at this pace that he's going on, he can compete with the best in the NFL, man. It's good. It's good. But now that we're done with the defensive lineman, after we talked for half an hour about the defensive lineman, man, I want to talk about our game going forward. Like this Monday night, we have a huge game. I don't think this is a bigger game than the Ravens game, in my opinion. I think that it'll be just the same, because after hopping on with Graf last night and Stu and B, you know, I'm I feel like the Chargers are at a spot where they can play with anybody, right? But this is the weird part. The Chargers, I feel, are in the position that we were last year. I feel like the Chargers are in a position that we were last year. We were able to compete with the best teams. We were able to beat the best teams last year. But when it came down to a fist fight, we couldn't pull it out. We could not pull it out. The Chargers right now just took down Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. And earlier in the season, I think they beat I forgot who they beat, but they lost to the Cowboys, right? And the Cowboys, in my opinion, have one of the best offenses right now, passing wise. But I'm looking at this Chargers game right now because if we try to match up our guys versus theirs, it's going to be a fist fight, man. It's going to be a fist fight. Going into this game, I believe the biggest thing we have going for us is the fact that we're going to go to LA and we're going to play a game where in the stadium, 75% of the fans there are going to be Raider fans. I think that right there is going to be the difference in when if in why we win this week. Because when you can go on the road into somebody else's territory, somebody else's stadium, and and you have um and you have 75% of the fans in that person's stadium, that's big. That'll play a big, big factor. And what I love the most is that these fans aren't Vegas fans. So these fans aren't going to be loud when we're on offense. These fans are going to be loud when we're on defense. These are the true Raider fans, right? Not that there aren't true Raider fans in Vegas, but these fans are really, really, really Raider fans. So that's going to be the biggest thing in my opinion going into that game. And yes, J Dog, and those are real Raider fans, so shit's about to get loud. Exactly, man. That's what I think. That's the biggest piece going in, trying to win this game, in my opinion. Because I feel like the Raiders and the Chargers match up greatly. Like they match up greatly, in my opinion. I mean, this Monday night game in LA, it's going to be a big one, right? What I Another thing that I love the most is this right here. Let me see. This right here, after the Raiders go 3-0, all of the ESPN analysts go back and do this. That right there is the best thing, because last week was the only week that we went into the game as the favorites. And guess what? We struggled. We need every single week for our guys to go to practice with a chip on their shoulders, man. We need that. We need that. I love the fact I love this, man. I love that. I love that right there. I love that. I love that. I love that. Out of the 10, out of the 10 predictions right there, only one has the Raiders winning, man. Only one. Only one. I love that, man. I love that. And shout out to Simply Marvelous in the chat. He said, there's a lot of Mexicanos who support the Raiders, but don't see any with the YouTube channel. That's awesome that you're representing for. Always, man. Always, bro. I will always have this flag. And I don't know if you could see it, but right there, that my cap that I wore for my graduation, that right there is the Mexican eagle in silver and black on my cap and gown, hat. So I'm always gonna represent my culture, where my family's from, where my parents are from, how I grew up, that kind of stuff, man. Always, always Simply Marvelous. Don't ever, you can never forget where you came from, ever, man. You can never, ever, ever forget where you came from. Andy, shout out from Mexico. That's what's up. That's what's up. She says, Raider Nation for life. Shout out to you, Rod. But man, name 3 home stadiums for the Raiders. 3? Okay. Vegas, SoFi. Yeah, I do, Nick. Vegas, SoFi, and every other stadium in the NFL, because that's how we travel. What's the Cowboy Stadium called? What's the Cowboy Stadium called? Because we run that shit too. The Texans Stadium, we run that. Anywhere in Texas, Arizona, obviously Vegas, and LA. Always, always, man. Which high school did I go to? I went to Berkeley High. That's what's up. That's what's up, homie. Let's go, Viva Mexico. Yes, sir. Viva los Raiders. Exactly, bro. Chargers know what's up, bro. It's easy, bro. It's easy work. How's your Espanol? It's all right, man. I use it when I have to. I use it when I have to. When I'm at work and people know it, speak it in English, I speak it in Spanish. We winning on Monday? Definitely. Definitely. We have to, man. We have to. We have to. We have to, man. There's no way. There's no way, because Here's why I say that this game may not be bigger than the Ravens game. Reason being, the reason being is because one, against the Ravens, that right there was probably the most dynamic player we were going to play. Lamar Jackson was probably the most dynamic player we were going to play, because there isn't many more dynamic players in the NFL than Lamar Jackson, right? Like Lamar Jackson is a true athlete, man. There's nothing that he can't do. There's nothing that he can't do. And I feel like if we were able to limit Lamar Jackson and him making something out of nothing with his broken plays, um, you know, the fact that we were able not to stop, because we didn't stop Lamar, but you're never going to stop Lamar. The thing is the thing is with Lamar, you can only try and go into a game and contain him. And that's what we did, right? He broke off for a couple of 30-yard runs. I believe he had two of them. But Justin Herbert is nowhere near as mobile. Nowhere near. But at the same time, Justin Herbert has a better supporting cast. He has Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, what's his name? Austin Eckler, a great pass catching back. May not be the best in between the tackles, but he's a great pass catching back. He's no joke. So what I will say, I think right now, I think this game may be a little less, if not just as equal as the Ravens game. But I feel like we match up so well against the Chargers. Not only because we're 3-0 and we beat three good teams, but because we have Gus Bradley, their former their defensive coordinator. We have Denzel Perryman, a man that played against Justin Herbert all year in practice. We have Casey Hayward, a man that played against Justin Herbert, Keenan Allen, and Mike Williams all year in practice, right? And shout out to the conversation that Graf, Stu, and B had last night with when they were talking about this matchup. They were all talking about, well, with Justin Herbert, with Justin Herbert playing up against this defense all last year in practice, do we need to change something up? I don't think so. I don't think so, because guess what? Justin Herbert is still learning to see multiple defenses in the NFL, right? He only had 1 year, and in the 1 year, he wasn't really even expected to play. Like Tyrod Taylor was supposed to be their starter, so he improvised really well all last year. But what I will say is Gus Bradley has proven time and time again, when it comes to scheming things, when it comes to scheming a game, scheming a defense, he is probably one of the smartest in the NFL. And I'm not just saying that because he's our defensive coordinator. When Lamar Jackson was having I don't think it was his MVP year, but it was the year before he was the MVP. When Lamar Jackson first took off in the NFL, right? When Lamar Jackson first took off, he was running wild on every single defense in the NFL. The first man to be able to contain Lamar Jackson was Gus Bradley. He was Gus Bradley, right? We saw what's it called? We saw Gus Bradley put on a show against so many different teams. One of the only coaches to be able to contain Mahomes from not being able to throw a 60-yard bomb in every other drive, right? Gus Bradley is probably one of the smartest coaches in the NFL. He's been coaching for longer than I've been alive. He's been coaching for longer than Justin Herbert has been alive. Okay? And when it comes to what we're facing this week against in Monday Night Football and the Chargers, I'm not worried for our defense. What I'm worried about is if our offense can continue to be able to run the ball for 120 yards like we did last week with Peyton Barber. That's the biggest freaking thing going into this week, man, because we need to establish a run game. It's too many games now, too many games, way too many games that Derek Carr has had to throw us out of a game. Throw us into a win. Because when you start to throw the ball that much, you're putting a lot of stuff on film, man. You put a lot of stuff on film, and when you have weeks and weeks and weeks of film for a defense to look at of just your quarterback throwing the ball, it gets harder. You need to put a consistent running game on film so that the defense have to respect it. We have to respect it. Shout out to my boy Aiden, Aiden A or Aiden I. I don't know how to Ihaka. Aiden Ihaka. Shout out to you, my boy. He says Raider Nation Australia representing from Melbourne. Let's go. 4-0 in LA, baby. That's big. That's big. Australia. So what time is it, Aiden? What time is it on Monday? I know, isn't it going to be Tuesday for you? I think it's going to be Tuesday for you, right? But man, what time is it when you're going to watch the game? And shout out to Aussie Raider, man. You didn't found another Australian Melbourne partner in the chat. I guess y'all are from the same city. Merrick almost got his first pick. He did. Richard may be coming back. Ooh, that'll be interesting. That'll be interesting to see how that plays out. If Richard comes back, that'll be very interesting how that plays out. Shout out to Lloyd to the Soul. He says, "What's good, Andy? What's good with you? What's good with you, bro?" 5:45 in the a.m. right now. Whew. Shout out to you. Big support, man. Big support. So it's Thursday for you already then, right? Carr's confidence will soar once he sees that our defense can also score. Bro, I think that Carr's confidence has already skyrocketed because of the fact that our defense already put points on the board for us against Miami. They put up 2 points. Those 2 points ended up being a big deciding factor in our game, man. A big deciding factor. And he knows his football, man. I try, Nick. Malo says, blackout SoFi Stadium, let's go Raiders. Oh, no doubt. No doubt. No doubt. Merrick might have to wait until we face a real gunslinger. Here's my thing. With Merrick, I honestly felt like if he was gonna get a pick already in the first 3 weeks, it would have been against the Steelers, right? Because Big Ben he just chucks random ass passes up and sees if his guy can make a play, right? But I think that with Merrick, I see him finally making those plays where he's getting rangy. For Merrick, when he's gonna become most dominant is when the NFL game starts to slow down, because we know that in the NFL, we've heard it multiple times. NFL feels really fast at first, but once the game starts slowing down, that's when you see the best players start to make the best plays. And last week, on the play that Trayvon Mullen had an absolute bonehead mistake where he had a PI in the end zone, you need to understand that you have safety help over the top. And that play right there, if Mullen did not hold, because he didn't have to do that, Trayvon Merrick would have got his first pick. And that play right there showed big range by Trayvon Merrick, and I'm very, very happy. And yes, I heard that too, Aussie Raider. It's I believe it's at 75% Raiders capacity in SoFi Stadium for this game. I mean, we all knew that was going to happen. I mean, it's no doubt that was mandatory. Like that was going to happen. Let's see. My friend is Jacob's cousin. He says he's feeling good. He told my friends that he should be good to go unless something happens. Lee pops up. Raider Nation for life. Huh. Let's see. And shout out to you, Jason Hawley, again for the donation. I didn't really understand that last part. He should be good to go unless something else happens or pops up. That's how I'm gonna read it in my head. Um, but yeah, let's see. Mullen did not want to give up 6. Yeah. Let's see. Merrick failed to be our last line of defense on those 2 mixed tackles on the run. Concept that causes 2 TDs already, and that's interesting, right? That's really funny. I'm happy that you brought that point up because you're right. The 2 touchdowns that were broken for like 25 to 30-yard runs. This is absolutely correct, J Dog. This is absolutely correct. Um, Twice. This is twice now, and it shows you how important it is to be the last line of defense in Gus Bradley's defense. This shows you right here because we all know that Merrick has the range to break up passes and you know, and get interceptions and that kind of stuff. But this right here is very, very true. Last week or on Sunday, we had a touchdown that Merrick should have been in position to tackle, right? Merrick let that happen. Week 1 against the Ravens on 4th and 1, or 3rd and 1. Same thing. It wasn't right up the middle like it was last time, but it was the same thing. Merrick is supposed to be in position to make that play, and he couldn't, right? And of course, like I said earlier, when it comes to Merrick getting interceptions, it's going to be the same for him with this, right? Merrick, the NFL game needs to slow down for Merrick to really get comfortable and really start making those big time plays. But what I really, really do like about Merrick is, yes, he has missed some open field tackles. But what's the best thing is that he is always, always, always looking for someone to hit. Always. And it's not in the same way that Abrams was always looking to hit his first 2 years. You know, Abrams was looking to hit somebody, and it was a wild hit. Right now, there was one play where Trayvon Merrick came down from the deep high safety and made a big time tackle for only 4 yards on the sideline. That's very, 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 very good. Right now, we're just waiting for the game of football to slow down for our star safety because I do think he will be a star safety. With Trayvon Merrick, man. I really, really do. But like King Savage just said, shout out to you. I've seen time and time again, Trayvon Merrick is so disciplined to his deep third. He doesn't move. He doesn't move and he doesn't bite. Now, what that does is that it's harder for him to make a big play and jump a route. But what it does is that it honestly keeps the offense honest because you can't throw it deep. You know, with the Steelers game, right? We saw Minkah Fitzpatrick try and make a play. And what that did was it allowed Henry Ruggs to beat him over the top by a yard and a half. By a yard and a half, not by much. But that's the thing. With Trayvon Merrick not trying to make the big play and not trying to be the Lord's Savior, right? We haven't seen us get beat over the top. We saw us get beat once, and that was with a bad matchup with Nick Witkowski and Sammy Watkins. But when they tried that same play with Corey Littleton and Mark Andrews, we didn't get beat. We didn't get beat. Now, the reason why I wanted to compare Merrick and Minkah Fitzpatrick is because, like I just said, Minkah Fitzpatrick, when Henry Ruggs scored the big play, his goal was to stop Darren Waller that was on the right side. And what he wanted to do is that he took his first step was downwards. His first step was downwards towards Darren Waller, just in case Darren Waller was going to run like a deep post. And if he would have ran a deep post, Minkah Fitzpatrick would have been right there to pick it off. But guess what? What he wasn't accounting for was when he took that step forward, Henry Ruggs had about a yard space already on his DB. And guess what? That 2 steps that you took forward to try and help on Darren Waller and make a play on Darren Waller, that made an even bigger play behind you. So I like the fact that right now, yes, Trayvon Merrick doesn't have a pick, but he is very disciplined to his deep third. He has not allowed a quarterback to test him on that deep third because they're too scared. He sits on his deep third no matter what. And that's very, very good to see a young guy who's used to making plays in college still being disciplined, not trying to make a play, not trying to, show the NFL that you can do it, because we know you can do it. It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. Um, I'm glad, and yes, I'm glad you brought that up, King Savage. Like, there's no quarterbacks. I thought that Big Ben would have tested him. He didn't get tested because he's staying right there. He doesn't move. He doesn't move. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Do you think Gus will call aggressive plays Monday night or play the cover three show? This is what I like. This is what I like. Let me bring that up on screen. Shout out to Raider 7. What I like about what Gus Bradley did last week against the Dolphins was, against the Dolphins, after we showed that cover three shell, all throughout the game, as soon as it hit overtime and the fourth quarter, the last bit of the fourth quarter, what did Gus Bradley do? He showed a two deep safety. He showed a cover two look. Diablo, Merrick. And this is what happened. As soon as the ball was snapped, it switched. Deep high, still cover three. It was still cover three. And I really like that he stopped showing the cover three shell. He just disguised it that little bit more, because when you disguise it, right? When you disguise the cover three and you come out in a cover two shell, it just makes the quarterback have to see it before he can react to it. So when you have Diablo here and Merrick here, and the ball snapped, and then you put Merrick back up here, Diablo comes back here. Okay, well, now I can't throw it to the middle of the field, which would be the cushion in between a cover two, right? The cushion between the cover two would be here. But if you rotate and you say, nope, we're going to put something right there, it's harder. It's harder. You can't throw that, or else you're going to be throwing right at a safety. Shout out to my boy AD, and shout out to you. I responded to your messages on Instagram. He says, if you're a safety and you're not getting the pass breakup or INTs, you're doing a good job. Not all safeties have crazy amounts of breakups and INTs. Yes, exactly. For one, if you're getting tested a lot, it's because you're in a position to lose, or you just have a very, very good receiver that you trust in. But if you're getting tested a lot, it's because the quarterback sees, okay, well, my guy has a step on you, or my guy is better than you. So it's good that he's not getting tested. I don't know if it's necessarily frustrating for him because he hasn't been able to get in the action so much, but I like what Merrick has done, man. And it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. I'm trying to tell you guys. No need to worry, man. No need to worry. Merrick also got burnt in the end zone. How do you get burnt in the end zone? And I need to see that. How do you get burnt in the end zone? I need to see that, because I didn't see that. Been loving watching the defense this year. It was so disorganized and hard to watch with Gunther. It was ridiculous, man. I mean, it's just fun to have a defense. It's fun to have a defense, man. It's fun to have a defense, man. Let me take this off the screen really quick. But did they score on him? Hopefully he ends up learning how to bait QBs into throwing picks like Ed Reed. Yes. But the same time, though, when you're baiting, you have to make sure that when you're baiting, you can get back to your responsibility, because Minkah Fitzpatrick tried to bait Derek Carr, but he couldn't get back to his responsibility. So the reason why I'm saying it's okay that he's just staying in his spot right now is because the game is still, probably really fast for him. So when it's really fast, continue to do your assignment. Once it slows down for you, hell yes, go try and bait the quarterback, try and make a big play, because that's what the best players do. Listening to shout out to Lord Zemnas. I don't know. Shout out to you though. He says, listening to at work, bro, keep it up. Leatherwood gonna have his hands full with Bosa if he plays. Yeah, man, it's interesting. It's very very interesting because it seems like every week there's another star pass rusher that our guys have to go up against, right? I know Emmanuel Ogba and those kind of guys aren't star pass rushers, but Jalen Phillips, a young guy out of Miami, looked very good. Christian Wilkins, he's an interior defensive lineman, but he causes big problems. Week one, you had that Ravens front that was just hard. Then you got T.J. Watt and Cameron Hayward. Then you got Emmanuel Ogba, Christian Wilkins, and then you got young Jalen Phillips. Then you're going into this game. You got Linval Joseph. You got Joey Bosa. Then you're going to the next week where you got Khalil Mack, Eddie Goldman, Akeem Hicks. It's tough. It's tough. So yes, it's very 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 it's a lot of work for our tackles this first coming week, the first weeks of our schedule, man. Um, let's see. Ravens player caught a pass in the end zone. Merrick was covering him. This is not white toast. When was this? Ravens player caught a touchdown in the end zone while Merrick was covering him. When was this? The only time where I felt like Merrick should have helped out this year was in the Ravens game when you got Sammy Watkins on Nick Kwiatkowski. That's the only time where I felt like Merrick needs to understand that you have to help your linebacker out. But that's not Merrick's fault. It's Nick Kwiatkowski's fault that he got burned. But yeah, Merrick should have helped. But I don't remember ever a player catching a ball in the end zone that was Merrick's guy. Oh, you're talking about when Lamar Jackson was on the scramble drill and Hollywood. That was, yeah, exactly. Okay. I see what he's saying now. Yeah, that's what you're talking about. But that's on the scramble drill. Like that's not him. Like that's him not plastering. And if you look at it, it wasn't just Merrick that didn't plaster. It was our entire defense went to the opposite side and didn't plaster. Like, bro, how do you expect Merrick to plaster when you think that two of your guys brought down Lamar Jackson? Lamar Jackson broke two tackles. Then threw a touchdown. It's hard to guard that, man. It's hard to guard that. Like, Lamar should have got sacked. Merrick should have been done with the play. Like the play should have been over. But Lamar got out of two sacks and then ran to the right side after the play was going to the left and hit a scramble drill. Of course you want to be able to defend that, man. But I'm not gonna, say that Merrick, like that was a bad play. that wasn't a bad play. Yes, Spencer. I agree. We need, and I can't wait for the Ravens to hopefully beat the Broncos, man, because oh man, I'm tired of these of the Broncos, man. Like, not only does that put us at number one in the division for sure, but the Broncos haven't played anybody. Now if the Broncos beat the Ravens, then we got something to worry about. Then we have something to worry about, man. Then we have something to worry about. But I don't see it happening. I really don't. But I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? I really don't see it happening though. Let me see something. Can't just be on him. Let's see. Andy, do we see Josh Jacobs and Jalen Richard back this week to bolster our running game, along with Kenyon Drake and Peyton Barber? I man. I don't know. Is there any news on Josh Jacobs? Because I haven't seen anything that would have Josh Jacobs going back into the game, right? Like turf toe, you what, missed 2 games? I think we do need him against the Chargers though. But who knows, honestly. Shout out to the NFL. You love it. You love it. You love it. Love it. Love it. Who's number one, motherfucker? Who's number one? We need to sit Drake. No, I disagree. Drake out of the passing game is solid. I don't want him running that ball though. I don't. He just doesn't look like he can run in between the tackles. He just doesn't look like comfortable running in between the tackles. Turf toe is unpredictable and can linger. Yeah, I can. It's very annoying. It's very, very annoying. Um, let me see. Hold on. Should have drafted Diggs or Jalen Johnson over Arnett. Diggs was never going in the first round. Jalen Johnson, I would agree. Jalen Johnson, I would agree. I really, 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 really loved Jalen Johnson in the draft process. I agree. Diggs was never going in the first round. But man, what's his name? Trayvon Diggs, right? Trayvon Diggs. Is it Trayvon Diggs? Or what's his name? Let me see. Uh, let's see. Lamar scramble drill versus Raiders. Let's see how much. Where's Merrick? I want to look at Merrick. Oh, there's no all 22 film, man. Oh, there we go. That's better. Let's watch it, man. Let's watch it. Rashard is better than Drake. I don't know about that. Rashard is definitely a better blocker than Kenyon Drake. Stephon Diggs is the brother. Okay, there's Merrick. Bro, what do you expect Merrick to do? That wasn't his man. It was zone. The play was going to the left. And then Lamar scrambles to the right and breaks off of two tackles, off of two sacks. Bro, yes, he should have plastered, but that's not his man. That's not his man. What the hell? Let's see. I've been telling people about Rashard all offseason. Better fit for our team is Rashard. I don't know. Got to be careful with turf toe. Definitely. Turf toe is annoying, man. Bro. Yes, he should have plastered. I agree. He should have plastered better. But to say that's his man and got burnt, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. We gonna have hella running game and be like the Pats with all these running backs. Nah, the thing is that the Patriots have an offensive line that can block. Our offensive line can't block for nobody. Like, I don't even think that if our offensive linemen had their moms back there at running back, would they block for them, bro? Like, bro, they like our offensive line is tripping right now when it comes to the run game. Like, bro, dude, I think we need to put Andre James' mom at running back for a drive for Andre James to play the best football of his life. Drake and Rashard are two different types of backs. Yeah. Drake is a true pass catching back, man. Drake is a true pass catching back. Let's see. They look better second half. Luckily, Carr worked on his scrambling. Carr's a baller, man. That's why they're gonna run hella screens and tosses. Why are we talking mad shit about Merrick? There was somebody in here trying to say that Merrick, let up a touchdown or something like that, or got burnt in the end zone. I don't know how that happens. Yeah, interesting. Ask McFadden how turf toe lingers. Andy, who do you put in for the Chargers game for center? I would start Nick Martin, man, and I would. I just don't think that with Andre James, I don't understand how you can allow so many mistakes. Because we are so lucky. We are so lucky that all three of Andre James' fumbles All those fumbled snaps, we're lucky that all of those fumbled snaps we recovered. If we didn't recover them, just think about it. Just think, man. Just think. You know how big of a momentum shift it is to get to recover a fumble? Um, oh man, I just don't. It's tough. It's tough, man. It, it I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm scared for Andre James, bro. Like he genuinely sucks. This is really Andre James' first rookie season for Ferrell. No excuses though. This is not. It's not. You got to practice behind Rodney Hudson for 2 years before you even had to start. You got to practice behind Rodney Hudson for 2 years before you even had to start, man. Before you even had to start. 2 years. Two. And then you get paid $12 million. And what do? First, it all starts with not snapping the ball, and you get a false start for our whole offensive line. Then you get a fumbled snap. Then you get fucking placed in the lap of the running back by Calais Campbell. This is one game, by the way. The next game, you start the first snap of the game. You start with your defensive tackle in Derek Carr's face while he has Henry Ruggs for a touchdown. Then you get another fumbled snap. And the next game, what do? You get another fumbled snap. And then you get laid on your back. You don't block nobody. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You have two other centers on this roster. He should not be playing right now. He should not be playing right now. Let's chill out on the kid. If he's playing through a broken hand, that's not his fault. When was he playing with a broken hand? What? When is he playing with a broken hand? He doesn't have no broken hand. Since when does Andre James have a broken hand? The way he's snapping the ball, it looks like he got a broken hand, but he doesn't have a broken hand. The hell? Like what? What? When did he have a broken hand? That's never been a thing. Like that's never been a thing. The hell? Bro, putting tape on your hand is just grip. It's not broken. Every offensive line wears tape so that they have better grip. It's just more grip. It's better grip than your fingers and your gloves. His hand's not fucking broken. He just sucks. He just sucks. He's horrible. And yes, I agree with you guys in the chat that are saying that benching Andre James isn't good for chemistry. I do 100% agree with you. But what's also not good for the team is when you're getting laid on your fucking back, you're getting drove back into the running back on a 4th and 1, when you got 3 fumbled snaps in 3 games. That's not good. I don't care for chemistry or whatever the hell. It's just not good for the team. It's just not good for the team. And we're all Raider fans, bro. We're all Raider fans. I like Andre James. I think he'll be good in another world. But right now, he's not good. He's not good. Like, unfortunately, with this O-line is gonna be a Colton process. Yeah, it takes a long time. Damn, so you're telling me those were his regular snaps? Bro, yes, he's bad. Like, he's bad. All offensive linemen, you can look at it. You can look this next game. They're either wearing tape on their wrist, they're either wearing tape on this part of their finger because this part gets jammed a lot, if not broken. They all just wear tape. It's not because he was playing with a broken hand. He sucks. He sucks. And he plays center for us, bro. I wish I could, man. I wish I could. I would, bro. I would snap the ball and get laid back for $12 million, bro. Like what? We got spoiled by Rodney Hudson. I agree. I agree. Had extra tape. He said there was too much tape on his hand, so they took some off. They didn't put more. They took some off. They took some off. They didn't put more because his hand got fucked up. No, he just sucks. Yeah. No. No. Andre James was getting tape taken off. They thought that was causing the high snaps was that he couldn't grip the ball because he had too much tape. So they took tape off of his hands. They didn't put any more on. They didn't put any more on. Like, okay, I get it. At this point, just let him start. Just let him continue. Let him continue. But honestly, like this next game, right? You guys are going to kill Andre James if he has a high snap, which they recover, which we lose by a possession that they should have never had. That's what I'm worried, man. That's what I'm worried about. That's what I'm worried about. Because if Andre James has a high snap or a fumbled snap or he gets blown his ass back and we lose the game because of it, you guys are going to kill the man. So why not take him out before before it happens? Before it happens. Because if you allow this man to keep going, it'll happen. And that right there is going to be even worse for his confidence, knowing that he lost a game for us. And we're not going to let up. The nation's not going to let up. He sucks. Yes. Do you know how many points we had to leave on the board or off the board because we didn't have a drive anymore because he either didn't snap the ball, he fumbled the fucking ball, or he got his ass blown back? We at least have 14 to 21 points off the board because of Andre motherfucking James. And guess what? You don't go into overtime if you have 7 more points. You don't go into fucking overtime again with the Dolphins if you have 7 more points. He sucks. Like, he's bad. Oh, relax. Leatherwood took out TJ Watt. In his defense, he was drafted as a tackle and transitioned to center. Let's give him a few games. I would totally agree with you because we agree a lot, Malik. We agree a lot. I would totally agree with you if this was his first year in the NFL. But he's had 2 years to sit behind the best pass blocking, at least the best pass blocking center in the NFL. He's had 2 years to sit behind him before he's even had to play. So I would agree if this was his first year playing center. But it's fucking not. This is his third. This is third year. I'm good, man. I'm good. We are 3-0. I'm good. Yes. I agree. I agree. We're 3-0. I'm good too. But my biggest worry is that we're going to allow him to play so much to a point where he's going to cause us to lose a game. And then we won't be 3-0 no more. We'll be 3-1 or we'll be 4-1. It's like it's too much. It's too much in my opinion. For my liking. For my liking, it's too much. Cuz listen, if you get sat on your fucking back like that in high school or college, you're no longer playing. So why is that allowed in the NFL? If you have a fumbled snap in high school or college, they may let you play for another drive or for another game, but not if you have another fumbled snap in the next game. And they're not letting you get to a point where you play a third game to have another fumbled snap. That's my thing. That's my thing. And you guys know for a fact that if Andre James has another fumbled snap and we lose by one possession that we could have had if he would have never fucked up, you guys will fucking kill this man. So why do we let it get to a point where that will happen? Why? Oh, because we want to save his confidence? Fuck his confidence. I want to win. I want to continue winning. That's what I want to do. Like, it's ridiculous. Bro, here's another thing. This is the last thing I'm going to say about Andre James. This is the last goddamn thing I'm going to say about Andre James. How do you have a fumbled snap under center? How do you have a fumbled snap under center? He snapped the ball into his fucking thigh. How do you have a fumbled snap under center? That's just sad. Like, that shit is just sad. Like, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. At that point, it's just sad. Like, bro, how do you have a fumbled snap under center? Like, you're ooh, man. Andre is interesting, man. Andre is an interesting talent. It's out of our hands. We are not the coach. Sadly, Eddie, that's a fact. That's a fact. We can't do nothing about it. God damn. God damn. We won. Undo sadness. Facts. We're happy. Let's go. Week 4. What? Okay, how about this? I want you guys, let me know right now. What is more important for us to win this game right here against the Los Angeles Chargers? Establish a running game, right? Establish a running game, or cause a turnover on defense. I hope we're wearing our color rush unis ready to purge. What's more important? A turnover or establish a running game? Benson says, fuck it, both of them. Running game and create a turnover. Facts. Turnovers, okay. Benson said both. He said, yep, we doing it both. That's how we got to do it. 4 turnovers for the Chiefs, and they barely won. Established a run game. Facts. That's what I was going to get at. Establish a rhythm. Establish a rhythm. I like that one, Dwayne. I fucking like that one. Establish a rhythm. That's simple and sweet. Not QB on his ass. Yeah, but we can't have no more boneheaded mistakes with Maxx Crosby. We can't have that no more. No more. What's more important, resting or Jacobs or winning this game? Winning this game is more important. Winning this game is more important. Because we don't know if Jacobs is going to get injured again. So, yes, winning this game is more important. Rhythm is real talk. Facts. Running the ball means controlling the game. Exactly. If you don't give the opponent the ball, you're good. So, turnover, run game. I don't mind if Carr pass for 400 yards. Good needs to make 100 roll 200 yards for those snaps. 200 yards per fucking snap. Winning this game is to prove all the analysts wrong. We've been doing that. Got to establish dominance in the division. Winning this game is more important, definitely. Is Josh playing? I don't know. I really don't know. I really have no clue. Let me see. But proving these fuckers wrong, proving these idiots. We gotta make sure that we win on Monday Night Football, man. Nation love. Yes, sir, Kenneth. We don't need Jacobs this week. We need him when the weather gets cold. The weather is never going to get cold in Vegas. We have a dome stadium. But on the road, do we play Cleveland in Cleveland? I hope we don't play Cleveland in Cleveland. God damn. Fuck. Let me see. Where do we play Cleveland? Raiders schedule. Where do we play Cleveland? I really hope we don't play them at home over there. Right now, is it gonna in Cleveland? God damn. Damn. December 19th. Oh, that's tough. Oh, that sucks. That sucks. Big time. That's tough. December in KC too, yeah. Ooh. It is what it is. Says 2 days after my birthday. Carr struggles in cold games. I thought he killed that narrative last year. We'll play them in Cleveland. Damn. And we play KC and KC, man. Neither of those two teams have a fucking dome. The Colts Stadium, is the Colts Stadium a dome? Isn't the Colts a dome? Andy, I donate, bro, but I got an iPhone. I'm still new to this Apple Pay shit. I got an Android. Bro, you're all good, bro. You don't never need to donate. Just hit that like button. You feel me? Oh, they do have a dome? Oh, okay, that's good. Okay, so we don't have to worry about the weather for the last 2 games. We don't have to worry about the weather for the last 3. The last 3 games. The last 3 games of the season, we don't have to worry about the weather because we're gonna be in dome stadiums. Because the Cowboys, they have a dome. That's on Thanksgiving. Oh, our Giants game though. Raiders versus Giants. We play them over there. It's in November, so it could be it's gonna be cold, and they don't have a dome. Yeah, exactly. Giants game in Jersey. Yep, just saw that. So thankfully, the last 3 games of the season though, we don't have to worry about weather. There's only Giants game, the second Chiefs game, and the Browns game are really. We have 3 games that are going to be really, really, really weather like related. Docs will be at the Giants game. I'm thinking of heading out there too. Might go to the Giants. Yeah, facts. I was thinking of heading out there too, but man, the plane tickets though from Cali to that's tough. Because the game ticket's not bad. But the plane tickets from Cali out there is ridiculous. Giants, no, we don't ever have a cakewalk. Last 3 games, 2 in Allegiant. Yeah, and one of them is going to be in a dome stadium in the Colts. So, exactly, Jonathan. We won because we had a run game, bro. And the weather is going to be a factor. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough, man. Big tough. Big tough. If we're taking a loss, to who? It's so weird because sitting at 3-0, our schedule gets kind of easy for a little bit. because the Bears don't look good. All right, look. Let's say or we're gonna lead this game with a win, right? So we beat the Chargers, right? That's 4-0. The Bears don't look good. That's 5-0. The Broncos haven't really tested anybody, but that could be an interesting game. You win, that 6-0. Eagles 7, Giants 8, Chiefs. I mean, with their defense, man, we can really take advantage, hopefully. And then you're sitting at 9-0 against the Bengals. You possibly can go 10-0. And then you go to the Cowboys. We can go all the way until the Chiefs' second matchup until we lose a game. And then at that point, you might lose again against the Browns. Yeah. I really think that the second Chiefs game and the Browns game are our toughest opponents. I only say Chiefs because of how crazy their offense is, but man, if we beat the Chargers, we're good. Yes, Dre the Great, because we didn't beat some teams at that point. Cowboys, Chiefs, Chargers, Browns, toughest matchup. Yes, I agree. Price comparisons, Raiders tickets or a flight. Can't wait till Monday. Justin Herbert, you finna throw a pick. Bro, the Browns are like that. We beat the Browns with a run game though. We don't got a run game. 20-0, screw losing. Facts. Chiefs defense is whack. Yeah, the Chiefs defense is sorry as hell. The Chiefs defense is super sorry. I haven't seen the Chiefs defense be that bad in a minute. In a minute. The Giants don't have a dome or an offense. Facts. They don't have shit. They got Saquon, and that's about it. Wait, is the Chiefs defense ranked last? Okay, there we go. That's some news on live. The Raiders have signed wide receiver Javon Wims and running back Trey Regis to the practice squad. So we just got Regis back. We signed him back to the practice squad, but we also picked up wide receiver Javon Wims. Let's look up Javon Wims. Javon Wims, 6'2", wide receiver, 221, 7th-round draft pick out of Georgia. Huh. Javon Wims. Let's check this out. 6'2", 221, 6th-round draft pick out of Georgia. 27 years old. Wims is best known for two things. He's the one who slapped the Saints corner. Oh. Huh. Okay. That's interesting. Of course we would sign him. Of course we would sign the dude that's out here slapping people. Yep. Of course we would sign him. Perfect. Of course we would sign him. Why not? Why not sign him? So we got back. We re-signed Trey Regis. We got him back onto the practice squad, and then we signed Javon Wims to the practice squad. It was to the practice squad because the Bears released him or they waived him, so he was a free agent. So we don't have to put him on the active roster. So he gets put on the practice squad. We signed Aldon Smith. Facts. We should sign Aldon Smith. Yeah, let Flash Gordon go to the Chiefs and we grab a random and a wannabe thug. Damn. On top of that, we let David Moore get signed by the Broncos off of our practice squad. That sucks, man. I don't know how we didn't protect David Moore. And then he goes to a division rival. Honestly, Dre the Great, I have no idea why we didn't do that. I don't know why we didn't do that. Didn't we pay David Moore? No, he was on the practice squad. Well, we paid him practice squad money. That's what we paid him. That's tough, man. And he learned some of our plays. I mean, I don't really. That's not whatever. What's up with Sherman? He signed with the Buccaneers. That's what's up with Sherman. Let's see. Who are the most notable free agents right now? Remaining NFL free agents. Protected Lester Cotton over Moore. Well, a lot of injuries have been happening, so yeah. Cam Newton, Mitchell Schwartz, David DeCastro, Russell Okung, Rick Wagner, Olivier Vernon, Darquez Denard, Trey Boston, and PJ Hall are the remaining, like the top remaining free agents. Damn. What y'all think, man? Sign David DeCastro? David DeCastro, Mitchell Schwartz, Russell Okung, Rick Wagner, all offensive linemen still available. Trey Boston is still a free agent. Yup. That's crazy. I wouldn't mind that at all. Bring him in. Darquez Denard, Olivier Vernon, had a very productive year last year, actually. That's oh shit. Why is DeCastro still out there? I think he needs surgery or something like that. Yeah. So Mitchell Schwartz, Russell Okung is someone I'm looking at, honestly. He doesn't look too bad. Huh. Gerald McCoy has been suspended without pay for the team's next 6 weeks. 6 games for violating what? Whoa, Vic Tafer just tweeted out our signee Gerald McCoy that is on the practice that's on IR has been suspended without pay for the team's next 6 games for violating the NFL's policy on performance enhancing substances. So Gerald McCoy will go without getting any pay for the next 6 weeks for violating the NFL's policy on performance enhancing substances. Well, I guess he was trying to get back to the field, get back on the field, man. Wow. Okay. I think he's done, man. I think he's done. I think his career is over. Sheesh. He was trying to come back and he got caught, man. That's tough. That's tough, man. That's tough. Well, Gerald McCoy, bye-bye. That's tough, man. I mean, yeah, he was done for the year anyways, but man. But in good news, we signed this guy to the practice squad. In other news, we signed him to the practice squad. Isn't that great? Javin coming back with Morrow, hopefully. Javin, Jalen Richard, and Jalen Richard, Nicholas Morrow, and I think Marcus Mariota are all eligible to come back after week 4, after our week 4 game against the Chargers, if they're healthy. So who knows? Who knows? Damn, Gerald McCoy, bruh. Damn, man. He wasn't going to play anyways, but you hate to see that. You hate to see that. That's tough. Suspended without pay for the team's next 6 weeks for violating the NFL's policy on performance-enhancing substances. That sucks, man. How much intel can Moore give to the Broncos? I'm not sure, honestly. I don't really know. I don't really think that there's much anyways. I think that he has to be more focused. Javin has been in practice for about a week. Okay, that's good news. I did see that. I did see that. We need the NorCal Coalition back, Andy. We've been trying to get that back in play, so don't worry. Don't worry. Yeah, that's tough, man. That sucks. Come on, Gerald. You can't be doing that shit, man. What the hell? Shit, we didn't sign a receiver. We signed a 6'2" amateur boxer. Oh, shit. What the fuck, man? That's funny. That's funny. Oh, well. I thought McCoy was smarter than that. Hey, man. We all did. It is what it is. But, hey, man, I've been on here for about almost 2 hours. So, I'm going to head out, man. I appreciate y'all for coming through. And if you guys came in a little late, the first half hour was me just talking about our defensive line. I spoke a lot about Solomon Thomas. So if you guys want to hear my thoughts on Solomon Thomas, go check out that first portion of the live where I spoke about all the defensive linemen. But hey, I had a fun time with y'all. Shoot, I don't know if anybody else goes lives later in the day. I might pop up, might not. It is what it is. But I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. We on our way to 4-0, man. 4-0, all that matters. Hopefully we get healthy. Hopefully we get Josh. Hopefully we get Javin, all these guys back. Man, appreciate y'all, Raider Nation. But that'll be it for me, y'all. Peace.